And we are live again. Welcome back, everybody. I guess I'm going to call this the Inspired Madman because, well, let me show you. I always love showing instead of just telling, right? And there we go again. So back to this. No, not this. That's Steven Universe. It's here. Right back to here. Okay, so this, I've always loved this quote. And this hasn't changed on my background since, like, I don't know, ever. If a man comes to the door of poetry untouched by the madness of the muses, believing that technique alone will make him a good poet, he and his sane compositions will never reach perfection, but are utterly eclipsed by the performances of the inspired madman. I don't know, that just really just resonates with me, because, I don't know, sometimes just the ideas come to me so intensely, it makes me feel a little crazy. So, anyway, staying focused. These are all about value bombs and not about my ego and talking about how cool I think I am, right? So actually, no, let's not do a screen share yet. In the previous video, we talked. I showed you a thing about this thing called Rapify, right? Now, the reason why I was so into it is because I suddenly found myself without a car and kind of baroque, and I was just like, how do I do this? How do I figure this out? Anyway, long story short, was talking to Barb and was really inspired by her, and I wanted to figure out a way to really give back. And we got Christmas coming up here. It's the 29th of October. We're almost to Halloween, and I wanted to basically show her that I wanted to show her group of people, her Perking Up Profits group, or anybody for that matter, anybody who's associated with Barb. I want to change their Christmas for the better, like have the best Christmas ever. And how do you do that? Well, I don't know, having a car that pays for itself seems like a pretty cool thing. But here's the other thing. I had mentioned something called retail arbitrage. Now, I know this is an internet marketing group, but think about it. Think about it. Retail arbitrage is all about finding margins in obvious places, and Christmas is the best time to find those margins. First of all, there's always stuff on clearance, and that's where you find your biggest margins. Gigantic margins, 70, 80% off. That means 70%, 70, 80% margins. Now you got to do your research. Don't fall for the tricks that, you know, when there's like intentional, like, oh, they actually have a brand new rack on the shelf, like, so you do, oh, this is for clearance. No, you know it's clearance. You know, because it's all, the box might be a little beaten up, just a little bit, not a lot, but you know what's actually clearance and where the real value is if you spend some time looking around. Now, if you think about it, if you're just doing your basic shopping, right, just doing what you're normally doing, and we're surrounded by technology that wants to help us all the time. Now, there are apps. There's the eBay app and there's the Seller Central app that all you got to do is just scan items. There's a barcode. You scan it and it'll tell you. It'll be like, yeah, this is worth $100. And if you find it at like Walmart or Target or Tuesday Morning or a thrift store or a clearance store, or, I mean, you've all been to these stores and been like, and every single one of you have been like, I could totally sell this online. And you can. It's the reason why in the other video I was telling you I was able to turn $600 into $10,000, right? I had to invest the money, and I invested it a little bit at a time, because I didn't have a whole bunch of money to just spend on inventory. Plus, I didn't even know if it was going to work or not. I just was just trying it. Anything I could scan, I just grabbed and I scanned it, I scanned it, I scanned it, I scanned it. So if you just start doing what I was doing and sort of get sucked down this rabbit hole, next thing you know, you're like, oh man, I need to get a job or something like that to support this, unless you have a business type thingy that's paying you to drive around. And if you're driving around looking for great deals, you see where I'm going with this? You're already planning on spending the next couple of months shopping for Christmas, right? Why don't you just scan a couple more items? And here's another one. I'll leave you all with this because I'm pretty sure I'm over my 5 minutes. Think about layaway. You only need to put down 10% of the total value of whatever it is. And I'll already tell you, it's just best to just go to at least $100. But that means you're investing $10 and you're getting $100 worth of product. Now, if all those items, that $100 worth of items is like 80% off, then you have these gigantic margins, right? Is this making sense? Okay. Again, more value bombs to come. Bye.